Dear Soap Diary. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. No, I'm joking. But I honestly do not believe for a single second that Diane sent Marco to represent Michael. I just don't believe it. I don't know. I just feel like he took it upon himself and they could have rescheduled or found him a different lawyer. I definitely don't believe it. This is a definite conflict of interest because Marco is a snake. Hold on, yo. Marco is a complete and total snake, and Lucas is running around that hospital, trying to figure out who did what to who. When in all actuality, it could be your man. It could be your man that did all of this. Actually, hold on. Let me see if I can pause this video. I needed more light, but in actuality, it could have been your man who did all of this. Elizabeth walking around with that smug look on her face. And usually I can tolerate her. But her trying to be like, oh, I can't withhold information from the police. Girl, bye. You will withhold information from police when you feel like it. You do. You do. Now I can see why people be calling this girl a hypocrite. Before, I was kind of like, huh? Because I really didn't pay that much attention to her throughout the years, other than when she's in a big storyline. But now I see what people are talking about when they say this girl's a hypocrite. And I'm wearing the blue to the pink today. Let's see, girl. Isaiah stepped up. First of all, before we get to Isaiah and Portia, why did they have Trina telling her secrets to Emma like it was nothing? Like, Trina just found out their secrets. And she was like, Kai, I don't believe I could trust you, blah, 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 blah. But went straight to Emma and was like, my mom changed somebody's test results to protect me. And it was Heather Weber. Like, you just ran your mouth off her whole secrets. Like, what if Emma was like, okay, Emma's a good person, but what if she wasn't? And then it's like, it's my fault. My mom thought she was protecting me, and I'm not a baby. Storyline. Can we let it go? Can we let Trina grow up? Can we stop having her be immature while everybody else grows up? Like, why are we writing her character like this is 2018? We're writing this character like she's a 15-year-old girl. And she's not. Trina's character has been on the show since they were, 13? They still writing her like she's 13. Please get it together, because why was she telling anybody? Why was she telling anybody that secret? That was weird. And she's like, you're pretty good for a stand-in or whatever she said she was, a backup. Emma is a way better friend than Joss, but still, I thought that was weird that she just told her all the tea in the middle of a restaurant like that. We know Emma is a way better friend than Joss. Side note, Trina's makeup looked beautiful today, and I feel like it was that Indian girl that did her makeup, because her makeup chart was sitting. Okay, and before it was not. Anyways, I'm not wearing any makeup today. I think I still have, I have a little eyeliner on, but that's it. Alright, they're talking about is Drew paralyzed. Unfortunately not. He's back to terrorize the rest of us, unfortunately. He comes in while Curtis and Drew are having a conversation where Drew tries to blame Curtis for his shooting. He's like, didn't you threaten me? Didn't you I know you tried to pew me. Curtis was like, please, if I pew you, you'd be gone. Okay? Now they got Chase, the worst detective in Port Charles, trying to pin it all on Curtis now just to get suspicion off of Willow. Chase, you're not slick. We see you for who you are, and we know what you are. Not a good cop, okay? Paw Patrol, you're not a good cop, because all you do is try to guilt people into coming into get questioned. Like, come on now, you can't play a player. Curtis used to be law enforcement, okay? He doesn't need to come to talk to you. He'll take the summons. He'll bring his lawyer, whoever that may be. They need to get more lawyers. Like, Port Charles needs more lawyers. I feel like Josh should have been a lawyer at this point, because they need more lawyers. Everybody needs a lawyer. Diane can't represent everybody. She's already representing Alexis. And then now she can't represent Michael. And then they got Marco over there representing him, which is a huge conflict of interest. Our dads don't like each other. No. Your dad, Marco, legitimately tried to off Michael and Sonny multiple times. and you know that you were part of the judge being offed. That's why he looked so uncomfortable when they brought up Judge Heron. So they finally showed some flashbacks, thank goodness, because Michael, I'm all over the place, but I don't care. So Michael, they showed some flashbacks and they showed Michael in the rain. I watched the episode on YouTube because Bob, I don't know if something's going on with him, but the episodes don't come up until the next day. So I need to take some vitamins, you guys, because I'm way too tired at this hour. Some vitamins. Yeah, I'm talking about some vitamins. But Bob hasn't been putting up the episodes like he used to. He used to have them up very quickly. Not so much anymore. But, prayers up for Bob and whatever he's going through. So I had to watch on YouTube. So things were a little spotty, right? But he did look uncomfortable when they asked and they mentioned Judge Heron, okay? Yes. So Lucas did some needle tests on Drew's feet, and unfortunately, there was no signs of paralysis. Like, could we get a little wheelchair storyline with no miracle surgery for a while? Have him scooting his boots around the place just for a little while. Drew ended up thanking God, which is crazy because God don't even know him, and he suggests they. Lucas said, you need to thank Dr. Robinson, and Drew was like, "It's a miracle she didn't let me die." And Lucas was like, "What? And what? What did you say?" He's like, "Oh, she don't like me because her husband don't like me." First of all, they know Portia's being blackmailed, but that's neither here nor there. He's like, first of all, ain't no Portia, okay? It's Dr. Robinson, big doctor, chief of staff doctor, talented surgeon, okay, who took a oath to protect you all and to give you all the best care possible, and she saved your mother effing life, so you better say thank you to her too, ho. And he was like, "Oh, I could see, like, she took her vows or whatever, and I guess you're not no big fan of me either." And not. He's like, "Oh, you need to remember to be treat everybody fairly." Yeah, I do need to treat everybody fairly. It doesn't mean I need to sit around and talk to you. Michael and Carly are my family, and you came for them. Yeah. And he's like, "I don't need to sit around and talk to you. Peace." I just want to mention, I feel like I should have started this out like that, but Lulu is a grade A hater. Big time hater, because why are you in competition with your baby daddy? You guys are both her parents. She loves her dad. She spent the first 7 years of her life with him, and then 4 years when you were in a coma. That's a lot of years, sis. So, excuse me. Whew. So Carly goes over there and talks to her, and she's like, "Well, Jack was over here and he was getting in my business. He overstepped his place. He wants Charlotte to see Valentine because of some favor he wants from Valentine. I'm not playing into, because I don't want my daughter to remember her dad. I want her to forget all about him. Actually, I want her to remember me and love me, because we lost so much time together, and I need to be her mommy. And I already losing Rocco to Obrecht. I can't lose her to Valentine. I love that he's in jail, because at least he's not dead, so she don't have to grieve him. I don't have to be sympathetic to it, but at least he's not around and never to see him again. I'll keep her away from him for life, and nobody could tell me any different. I like that they curl her hair. They do need to spruce up her makeup, because I don't know, this country girl, I don't know, she's not really doing it for me in this role. She's just too bland. Just like Jack Brennan is a bland, monotone, uninteresting character. So she's like, Carly asks what Charlotte wants, and Lulu's like, "I don't know. I'm not telling her anything about this because she's my daughter now, and I don't want her to see him." And Carly's like, "Well, maybe she can get some peace of mind from seeing her dad." She's like, "No, it'll be a setback," and she'll start thinking about him again and wondering about him again and being in her room again and not talking to me again, and she'll start loving him again. She'll never stop loving him, dum dum. And I think it would do her some good to see him and see that he's okay, and know that it's possible that they could see each other if need be, and it's not like her father is lost to her forever. But Lulu is selfish and a grade A hater, so there's that. She's her own biggest op. She's her daughter's biggest op. She's the town biggest op, just looking tired and miserable. just looking miserable all the time. So Carly reminds Lulu that Valentine will be in prison for life and she can't cut him out of her heart. She's like, she needs to let Charlotte make her own choice. And if she finds out she's kept her from seeing her dad, it's just going to make things worse. But Lulu doesn't listen and she doesn't care because she's an idiot. So she's always right and everybody else is always wrong. So therefore, this is just going to end up with Charlotte resenting her even more. But it's okay because it's going to give Charlotte a bigger storyline and we're going to hear from her more and we're going to see her more, which is good because she's been in the attic for like at least 6 to 9 months right now. So maybe like 7 months in the attic. So we definitely happy to have her out. This is the new Charlotte is good. I do like her. Jack tries to use his monotone voice to get Nina to help him, convince Lulu. And Nina's like, no, I need to stay out of their business because I have my own daughter and my own business. And I love Charlotte to death, but I'm not finna overstep my boundaries because I know what it feels like when people overstep their boundaries with me and my daughter. So I'm not doing it again. I'm done. And he's like, well, you and your daughter are going to need my help soon because I know your daughter and you are neck deep in this Drew crap. So, if you ever need our help, we could be there for you if you're there for us. So, Nina's 2 brain cells are roaming around in her head now. She's thinking like that Carly will be in a better position. Nina comes in with immediate side chick sneaky energy. Does your girlfriend know I'm here? That you're meeting with me? And frankly, she's like, look, I don't even think her visiting her dad is in her best interest because Valentine has a lot of enemies. And this could put her in danger. Here go stupid Jack. No, it could show them that Valentine still got power. Yeah, that they could wield against his daughter. What's not clicking to you, Jack? Okay? So, Anna and Dante question Michael, and his lawyer is goddamn City Jr. And I'm like, this don't even make no goddamn sense. So, I don't believe that she sent him. Marco and Michael speak alone for a little bit because he's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, you know what? I'm going to just get it over with. You can be my lawyer for today. He talks about his whereabouts. He was at work. He saw Christina. He went to the restaurant to decompress and he ran into Jacinda on the host roll. And so they were like, what you know about hoes? What you been doing with hoes? And he's like, nothing, but, I enjoy what I enjoy. I like a little hoe from time to time. I was married to Willow for a while. I had to let that shit go. And he then spoke. He said, he went to decompress about everything, speaking with his mom and dad and everything about Judge Heron being offed. And Anna asked if he's aware that she's the escort. He's like, I didn't know then, but I do know now. So he's telling about the times he arrived, which is when he realized he left his phone in the car the entire time and he had the missed calls from Wiley in Brooklyn and he went home because his son had a nightmare. But we know that he was at Drew's house and the girl saw him and they're wondering if he paid an escort to tell a lie for him, give him an alibi. Drew, of course, named him as the shooter, and they're like, well, Drew thinks you did it. And he's like, yeah, of course he does. And so he gets up and he leaves. Trina's sitting up there telling the girl Emma all her business. And Kai goes to the hospital to see Drew just to, check the temperature, see if he saw anything, heard anything. Did you hear me in the house or whatever? I thought when he was like, well, I have another question for you. I was going to say, what was you doing in my house? But yeah, he didn't. Drew wanted him to go to the house and dig through the safe and get them paperwork on Portia and bring it to the hospital so he can make sure it's all still there. But Kai was like, I can't do that. I don't feel comfortable. It's still a crime scene. I won't be let in, blah, blah. Everything to evade the question. And I like how Kai did that because if he goes there and finds out the blackmail is gone, he's going to definitely think Portia or Curtis pewed him. And that's going to give, them more ammunition. That's going to give him more motive, give Curtis more motive, and also to give them, it's going to strengthen the case against Curtis. And so That's not good for anybody. So I'm glad that what's his name, Kai covered, which is what Kai should have been doing this whole time. He should have been having Trina's back, but instead he had Drew's back in front, and now he's an idiot. But he's not really redeeming himself, but he's showing that he has a little more sense than originally shown or anticipated. So blah blah. So he's like, it's gonna look good if I'm there, because I can pretend like I'm still on his side. He'll think I'm still good. Everything's still good. Kai had a good cover, was saying like, I can't go to your house because it's a crime scene. Blah blah blah. Trina spilled all her goddamn tea to those people. Drew had another favor for him to ask. We all know what it was, girl, to go get Willow and see where she is, and so she can go in there with him. And when Willow closed those curtains, I thought for sure she was gonna smother Drew. I didn't know who it was at first, but I thought whoever it was had a plan to smother Drew. But it was just Willow. And he was like, Willow, is that you? Did you hear that I got shot? Are you worried about me? Willow was like, whatever. Because Chase is trying to convince her that she doesn't need him anymore. Chase is trying to convince Curtis, like, please come to the station so you don't become top suspect. I was going to be top suspect anyway because I hate Drew and I'm black. So there was that. So don't come in my face with the BS, Paw Patrol. Okay? Willow realizes she needs to find a new lawyer because Liz was like, look, you need to try Martin because Rick is out of town at a digital detox convention. So they can't even get advice and give it to her, pretend because it's a digital detox. So she's like, well, I do have a little bit of time because my court case is not for like another month or whatever. And Rick apparently has only been in the house for 2 days. They need to speed time up. This has been the longest 24 hours on Port Charles. So Willow fears it's not enough just being a stay-at-home mom. She needs Drew. And they're like, girl, you don't need him. I don't know how many times they're going to tell her that. So Portia tells Isaiah, like, look, it was good. It was fun. I loved climbing into bed with you with my t-shirt and my panties on. But I have a daughter, okay? And she's a little bit slow upstairs. And she's going to think everything is her fault. And I need to be there for her while this divorce is going on because she's going to act like she never had parents that divorced before, okay? She gonna act like this is the first time anything bad has happened in her life, and she gonna act like her parents' problems are all hers, and she's 12 years old. Okay, that's how the writers are writing her. Okay, so I need to be there for my daughter. Now, the D was bomb, and I will be back at some point, but not right now, boo. This is the end of us, Bookie. And he's like, dang, girl, your crazy ass got that $1 million. I really do wish things could be different. She's like, I wish it could be different too, but it's nothing we can do about it right now because I'm still married and then look out for my daughter. I thought for sure Curtis was going to walk in and be like, and what's going on in here? But Portia lives to lie another day. Chase is trying to pin down Curtis' alibi so that he can pin it all on Curtis so he can get the suspicion off of Willow because that's what all he really wants. Blah blah blah. They're like, they need to bring Jacinda in. At the hospital, Lucas tells Liz he's confident that Carly didn't shoot Drew. Liz isn't, and she feels like Drew's a threat to her family. Well, yeah, because he literally threatened her family. At home, Lulu's grateful that Carly told her the truth instead of what she wanted to hear, but she's Charlotte's mom, and what's best for her is leaving the past in the past, meaning her own father. Crazy. She doesn't see any good coming from a visit with Valentine, and nobody convinced her otherwise. Well, it actually could save everybody's life in town, and it could save Jocelyn. Oh, but, because Jack is an evil person, he can't tell y'all that. Back at the grill, Jack tells Nina that, Drew been shot, and it's only a matter of time before she and Willow are questioned. She's like, we already got an alibi. He's like, well, I could do something better for you. And Nina looks up and sees Michael at the bar after Drew leaves, like, oh, wow, Let me see. Yeah, that's basically it. That's the end of the episode. A lot happened. This was the longest 24 hours in Port Charles. A lot happened in this episode. But it was good. The story moved. And that's what we really want to see. We didn't see any of the Jet 2 holiday, which is what we really are very happy that we got a break from. Trina's makeup looked good, but they had her acting stupid. Kai had more sense in this episode, which was weird again. Anna and Chase can't solve not one case. Marco is a liar. Okay, he was not asked to be the lawyer. Nina's 2 brain cells are literally in there fighting. Okay, they're in there fighting and scrambling right now about what to do. And I'm supposed to just mess with my sister. She's so blind. She's supposed to be the one with 20/20 vision. I'm supposed to be the one that needs glasses. That's crazy. And will Lulu take Carly's advice? Probably not, because Lulu thinks she know everything, child. But yeah, Portia had to break up her little sneaky link situation with Isaiah, and we mourn, but we move. They'll be back together for the end of the year. So that being said, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Sincerely, Soap Diary.